it'll play through. I don't know.
All right, you're live.
Oh. Well, hey, everybody. It's Tim and Arthur with the Solomon Group at Caldwell Banker, and we're here with Justin and Cassidy of Everstar Investments. Today we're going to sit down with them and talk to them a little bit about what they do. Arthur, you got some questions?
I got a lot of questions.
All right, hit them out.
These guys as real estate rock stars, we're delighted to have both of them. We're actually in a real estate mastermind group together, and really glad to know both these guys. They're just absolute real estate rock stars, and they're in multifamily space. They do hybrid investing with Airbnb and stuff like that. We're going to let them explain what they're looking to do and how you can be a part of it, what they're doing. So thank you guys for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having us, guys. Really appreciate it.
Maybe you could just introduce yourself and tell us how you guys started in real estate.
Yeah, sure. I'm Justin, and this is obviously Cassidy, and we partnered up about a year ago, August 19th of 2019. We formed Everstar, and for the sole purpose of trying out this hybrid model that we had created, combining multifamily assets with the Airbnb market. So I had worked in the commercial multifamily space. Cassidy and his wife, Michelle, had started a Airbnb portfolio. So we took the two concepts, merged them together. We thought we were onto something, and so far it's proven that we are onto something.
Done pretty good for you.
Yeah, it's done really well. So we love the model. That's our main focus now. We've kind of stepped out of the single family residential world. We still do some flips here and there, but for the most part, our focus is on running this hybrid model.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I like the concept because we can take a large apartment complex, something that's run down, get it undervalued, be able to renovate that, increase the value of it, and then, the cream of the crop is really adding the short-term rental on top of that. So we already, almost double the value of the, large apartment complex, and then we're further increasing that value. We're getting like 3 times the rent on
Absolutely.
short-term rentals than we do on traditional rentals.
Absolutely.
So it works out pretty good.
So you guys then increase the NOI, and then you can get a better cap rate out of it. And
better valuation of it.
Yeah, better value. So the name of the game is like he said, we try to find those undervalued assets. We underwrite them as solely traditional assets. So we don't even factor in the short-term rental rates that we know we'll get on the back end. So we'll underwrite as a traditional asset, and if the numbers come back good for a traditional asset doing a value add upgrade, then we'll buy it. But the icing on the cake is getting those 2 to 3 times market rents versus the traditional. So our backup is, we've underwritten it as traditional, which is good. So we know we're safe if there's a down market, down economy. That's taking the risk off the table, the downside. But then when we convert the units over to short-term rental, we pretty much get a new valuation, cash out, and go do another one.
So on average, like how many doors do you have per each one of these large multifamily assets?
Yeah, so we haven't gone over. Right now we've got, like, for example, I'll just give you a case study.
Sure.
We like anything below 50 for the hybrid model.
Okay.
Because below 50, the price point is much easier to get into from a commercial standpoint. The equity dollars are much smaller, but the upside is quite big, quite large.
Right.
Once you start getting over 50, it's more of a traditional multifamily asset, and you got to underwrite it as such, operate it as such, so on and so forth. So I'll give you a case study of one we did in Fairborn. It's a 14 unit. It's all under one roof, so it's all the same building. We went into that. The average rent across the board was $425. When we bought that, we got it at $400K. So we got a loan on it for $400K. We've converted over 2 units, and we're in the process of converting our third to a short-term rental. The average rate we're getting a month on the short-term rentals is anywhere between $1,300 and $1,600 a month, where our average traditional rate in that building was $425.
Right.
So that increases the NOI, to your point, right? And the valuation of commercial multifamily is based on the NOI. So that drives up the NOI, and then down the road we'll refi it. We'll convert about 40% of the units in that building. We'll drive it up. That one will probably get about $1 million valuation on in the next 2 to 3 years. 24, 36 months is our typical turnaround time. And then we'll refi it and pull out $400K, and then we'll just cash flow it for another 7 to 10 years.
Yeah, that's an incredible business plan. Like that's such an amazing model.
Yeah, it's interesting, and
Yeah.
not a lot of people are doing it.
Exactly.
Hardly anybody's doing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Springfield, Ohio, is it the vacation capital of the world or what?
You know, I thought
Do you
it
see a
was,
big
you know, I
demand
mean,
for
come on.
Airbnb?
They're
Not for vacations necessarily.
but it really is amazing, like what people travel for. You know,
Yeah, I was
especially
gonna
with
say, you
the
do see a lot of people,
Yep.
coming through.
exactly.
So that's one good thing about Springfield.
Yeah, but I mean, especially in Dayton, you got the Wright-Patterson Air Force
Mm-hmm.
Base. You know, there's so many people coming for work for that, for contractors. You know, there was, you know, talking about this and, you know, talking about the downsides as well, because that's important. You know, during the coronavirus scare, you know, we had a scary couple days. You know, everybody was, you know, canceling their bookings because their events got canceled, and all of a sudden our calendar just opened up. You know, like, oh my gosh, how are we going to pay for rent? You know,
Right.
so. You know, then the third day, you know, 2 days of just pure terror. The third day, somebody came and booked the entire month as a furnished rental for more than, you know, probably what are the occupancy could have been in short term.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's
Stress
amazing just how
alleviated.
things work
Yeah.
out there. Yeah. So we kind of got both those, and we're doing, you know, a little bit different model right now, you know, during this time, you know, the furnished rentals instead of just all short term. So we're kind of mixing up. We got, you know, purely like, you know, a couple day rentals. We got weekly, monthly, you know, and then, you know, long-term, you know, large apartments.
I would say
Right.
80% of our portfolio right now through COVID is all long-term. So people are staying 30 days or longer. We have a few people that are staying all the way through the end of the year. And that brings up a bigger point. When we were talking about running this model, a lot of people, when they hear Airbnb, they think vacation.
Yeah,
Right.
it's not
Travel,
going to
right?
work, you know, it's not
Absolutely,
going to work here.
But we don't look for travel markets. We don't want, because what we found and what they found when they first started their portfolio was most of the people that were coming were traveling for work. So we started looking in markets that had, you know, a decent economy where people traveled for work. So Dayton is a good market because it's got Wright-Patterson Air Force Base.
yeah.
It's got several universities, 2 large ones, Wright State and UD. And it's got 2 major health networks. So travel nursing is a huge industry right now.
Right.
So a lot of our stays are travel nurses. And then you've got some of the other things where you got engineers that travel and so on. So we look at markets where it's got a good economy. We're not in the travel industry, even though we're putting our stuff out on Airbnb, which is a big misconception. We look for, you know, people that aren't traveling for leisure, but rather for work.
Yeah.
So, and that's why we were able, I think, to get through the COVID scare
Yeah.
very, very well. We actually performed very well during the whole thing. So,
Well, just going off of the travel side, you guys have a project in Hocking Hills. It's very exciting.
yeah,
That you might
was
be able to
looking at deals,
share a
yeah.
couple things about that.
yeah.
Yeah, so we looked at, we got this concept for a campground, and we got it under contract. We're going to do some great stuff with it. 60 units there right in Hocking Hills. So our plan, you know, everybody thinks traditional campground, which is what it is right now. You bring your motorhome or your trailer in, you camp for a couple days, you leave. Well, we're trying to make it luxury camping or glamping. You know, that's the new, new
Glamping.
trend
That's what I
for
like to do.
2020.
Google it. It's a 2020 trend. It's
Yeah.
huge. Yeah.
It's going to be the glam ground of Hocking Hills, you know, or the Everstar glam ground. We're still trying to come up with a name. So, like I said, it's got 60 sites, looking to make those, you know, luxury camping. So we're talking about like, you know, container houses that are furnished really nice, tree houses, you know,
Okay.
yurts, like furnished tents.
Yurts are like
glamping
the big
tents.
white
Yeah.
fancy tents. Yeah.
Yeah, so all that stuff, you know, our goal is like to be on the cover of, you know, a travel magazine. Like, there's no other
absolutely.
place that you can go and get these amenities, you know, one spot at a campground, you know, especially around Ohio here. It's
Right.
just, you know, so we'd like to be, you know, the center point for all
Sure.
that. And it's just amazing because you talk about, you know, a campground, you're talking like $30 to $50 a site. You know,
Right.
if you bring your stuff, because they have already hookups for water and sewer and stuff
Right.
like
So
that.
the yurt and everything, those are all going to be kind of furnished, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's everything you'd possibly want in a tent.
Right, a tent or a tiny home or a container home or
Yeah.
a tree house, it'll be completely furnished. It'll be, you know, you'll walk in and it'll be glamorous, right?
I was gonna say, it sounds like a very
It'll be
glamorous
glam.
campground.
So, which is a little bit off our traditional model, but we've, you know, Hocking Hills is huge. People in
It's a great
Ohio,
place, yeah.
outside of Ohio,
Yeah.
love it. And we came across this deal and thought, you know, we could really do something with this
Yeah, it would
using
make
the
it
same
amazing.
model, but just in camping. So,
Yeah,
You
'cause
guys- Go ahead.
yeah, my wife does great design stuff. Like she already has a vision board. You know, she got the pictures of you know,
Right.
what this stuff's supposed to look like. Because I mean, we already have you know, a pretty good portfolio. You can go to traveldayton.com and see all of our, you know, Airbnbs and stuff like that. And she wants to take those concepts and put it into this. You know, so you're talking, you know, like I said, about $30 to $50 a night, go up to $150 to $300 a night if we can put the spaces, in the camping spots, and that's where I'm going to turn it all over, make it, luxurious.
Right.
Yeah. So it's exciting. We're excited to do that one. Yeah.
Very excited.
Very
Yeah,
creative.
that sounds awesome.
So as far as if people that are watching this are probably like, man, I want to be a part of that. How can people be a part of what you guys are already doing?
Yeah. So unfortunately, depending on how we only work with accredited investors currently.
Gotcha.
So you have to have a certain net worth or make a certain amount every year. And usually our minimum investment is usually around $100,000. So, but anybody that's interested in seeing our model or seeing what we're doing, we love sharing what we do. All that information is free. You don't have to be an investor to ask us about what we're doing or show us, how we underwrite deals, or it's a big open book. We like to teach and all that. So, but if you're interested in what we're doing, you can go to everstarinvestments.com, check it out. There's a contact us form there. You can fill that out. That's probably the easiest way. Or you can go to our Facebook page and shoot us a message, either one. It's Everstar Investments there on Facebook.
What about contractors or anything like that you guys need a hand with, anything like that?
Don't we all?
Don't we all?
Some good contractors.
Always.
Right.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, I mean, if you got some skills, any type of contract work, we're always looking for good people, to partner on deals with, to do some good projects, because that's the key to this business, because we've got the great ideas,
Right.
We've got the the design aspects. We just need some help executing that stuff, and good contractors, it's valuable. We need some of those people to come in and help us do some work.
Yeah, and we just talked about starting a new program for this. We're not looking for employees; we're looking for partners.
Right.
So what we're really looking for is people that will want to partner with us, where they share in some of this with us. So whether you're a electrician or a roofer or general contractor, like if you're a general contractor, you can do it all, and you're looking for something different and something new, and be a part of something exciting.
Yeah.
We're looking for partners. Where we'll, split it 50-50 and bring you in as a partner in the business, and you run that business line. We just, we feel like that's a better value add for those that we want to work with than, bringing them on as an employee.
Right.
If that makes sense. Yeah. So if anybody's interested in that, definitely hit us up. We would love to talk.
Yeah, and what's your website again? Everstar?
Everstarinvestments.com.
Investments.com.
Yeah, it's a
And
mouthful.
then for your
Like
the
short-term
Facebook
rentals?
page.
yeah, your Facebook page.
Yeah, Everstar Investments. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. If you put that in the search bar, we'll pop up.
And
Okay.
you guys are buying apartments and
We
here,
are.
Dayton,
Yep.
obviously Hocking Hills, so kind of all over the state of Ohio.
All over, yeah. We go as far north as the Canton, Akron area, and as far south currently as West Carrollton and Dayton. So we're almost down to the Centerville. We just put an offer in on a 122 unit building down around the Franklin area. We haven't sealed that deal up, so I won't say too much more on that. But yeah, we're actively acquiring properties and deals, and right now we have our hands full, which is usually a good problem to have. Yeah. So,
Guys, well, thank you so much for being a part of this today. If you guys want to be a part of what they're doing, Everstar Investments, reach out to them. If you have an apartment to sell or if you're a good contractor, reach out to us, send us a message, and definitely appreciate you tuning in.
yeah.
Thank you guys for being here.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thanks for
it.
having us, guys. Appreciate you. I'm all up on the mic.